So out the gate, we had a very volatile week. As far as today, we had a lot of volatility going into the market. So these are the levels I'm watching as of right now. These levels of 390 to 396, we've been consolidating in this area, and as of now, I think we might be ready to break for next week. Which side? Depending on the data we get next week on PCE, which is coming out March 31st. My expectation is we go lower just because of the previous reports of CPI and PPI. And as of this day on Friday, we came out pretty green. It seems like the market wants to pull up, but the only thing that would throw a wrench in this plan is if we break anywhere between this 390 level, that would shake a lot of people up in terms of, if we have this bullish momentum intact, because as far as, if we break this 390, it's a really psychological level. And if this breaks and we trend down to 385 or even 380, a lot of people are not going to position themselves to be bullish. And that's what I'm really watching. They just might pull something like this where we, break this 380 level. Because, this consolidation zone, in my perspective, looks exactly like this. Although this has been a long consolidation zone. But as far as that's concerned, I am looking at these levels. I do expect them to possibly give us a couple more days where we have indecision, because as of they don't like to respect the psychological level of 390 at times. And so if we look back over at late December, around 10 times they broke it, around 10 times. So that's gonna be to the utmost critical point for this bull rally to continue. I believe we're gonna see some pretty insane levels. If we break 400, if we can break this 400 again, it will mean pretty good. We're having this trend line right here. If we just look at this, this trend line can't really break, because if we do, we're gonna see some gnarly downside. So I'm gonna be watching that come Monday, but I think come Monday we're gonna see a lot of volatility for either side. So it'll be a good opportunity to scalp and play some put positions and some call positions. But as far as this today, we closed out pretty strong, and it looks like we want to head to that 396 to that 398 level and possibly break those with force, because that's what we need. We need the momentum to pick up in order for these psychological levels to break, and then we could see this bull rally continue. I think this 0.25 rate hike was really good for the return of a bullish market. If we got a 0.5, that would have been detrimental for these markets, but things happen. And the Qs are looking good. They didn't go green too much. The Qs is consolidating in this level, as well as SPY. The Qs does look a little bit like it's going to have a double top here if it can't break these levels. So that's a thing to watch out for this come Monday. As far as the DXY looks pretty green. And if you look at VIX, even with this volatility, VIX dropped down pretty aggressively, around a $4 to $5 move on just today. So VIX is still loving this volatility, and it doesn't seem like if we can't consolidate here, we might break this support line and possibly hit to 19 levels again, until we finally get the thing that murders SPY, which it could be something along the lines of we can't pay our debts, and the debt ceiling and things of that nature. One more thing, I have been paying attention to SI. I know Silvergate was part of, Coinbase, and they're banking with them, if I'm correct. Um, and I just want to, look over at this percentage today. We were up at least 70%, so I'd keep this on my watch list, because if you look over at the short interest of Silvergate right now, it's around 71% of the float. So that's quite a lot. That's unusual, and it's around 19 million shares. I know that doesn't seem like a lot for a stock, but that's 71% of the whole entire float locked in just shorts. And then the off exchange is around almost even 50%. So if we can see a strong move to the upside come Monday, I mean, this thing could either hit $2 and then topple down the coming days. But I think Silvergate might have a possible another couple green days if we can keep up on the indexes, and this could be pretty lucrative if you can get in at a low price. But anything below at least $1.30, I wouldn't try to get in. This might be just a moment of luck for Silvergate and all this hectic of bank crisis and bank insolvency. So I'd keep an eye out on SI. I think SI is a really good play if you want to buy shares or if you want to buy calls. They have calls in the penny range, so you don't have to risk much on this stock. If you take a look over at HSI is looking like it didn't break down to that support line, as I've mentioned in previous videos. So it looks like it's going to keep trending up as far as right now. It's liking this index rally, and this will reflect positive for Chinese stocks as well. If we looked over at Lyft, as I've said, Lyft does need to consolidate here. And as I've said, we did get that pullback that I was mentioning in previous videos. As of right now, I want this to consolidate a bit more. And then if we can aim directly for that $11 mark, I'd say jump out and then wait for the, second pullback. And then, we can, in the future, we can talk about if we can hit $13 and possibly fill this gap, this massive gap. But as of now, that's still in the air. So for AMC and GME and all these meme stocks, right now, these meme stocks are, not doing too good. I think right now they're just going to consolidate as of now. BBY, it broke to 80 cents. It seems like it's consolidating at this level, but historically, after BBY has its run up, it tends to, for at least a couple months, 3 to 4 months, it just sells off. And, the short interest is really high on BBY. It's one of the highest across the stock market. So I'd be very watchful of this. It might have another pump, but you just don't want to get caught when there's no pump and you start to lose money on that. So historically it has sold off each pump, so I'd be very watchful. And if we can consolidate here, it might mean another shot to possibly $2 if we can get that. They do have to get their shares above $1, I believe, before April 5th. I'm not sure if they asked for an extension just yet, but, just keep those dates in mind. If we take a look over at the powerhouses, the same thing. Pretty flat today. Nothing too special. Tesla consolidating here. I'm still looking for these levels to hit. We had quite a reversal. Looks like we kind of formed a cup and handle. Could seem like we might consolidate here, and if we can keep consolidating, we might hit those 200 levels again. But I'm still keeping an eye on that gap if we do start to trend down on the indexes. And Coinbase, is just following the flow of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is consolidating right here after it made a massive move up to 27,000 after being at 20,000. So this is looking pretty poised to go up to 30,000, maybe even 32. It'd be crazy because these leg ups are pretty hectic, and they come out of nowhere. So over this weekend, it's going to be very telling if we can break this 30,000 level. So that's what I'd keep an eye out for. As far as that's pretty much it. Keep an eye at this 3090 level. This is a very psychological level for a lot of investors. If we break this, all hell breaks loose. They do like to mess with the psychological aspect, and so they might bounce us off to this 386. Worst case scenario, we go to 383. But the worst case scenario, I don't see us breaking 385. That's the most, it might break in the day, but I don't see it happening, consistently, as far as like what we had over in December. I don't think they will do that too much because, I think they know. So the market makers. So just keep an eye out for those indexes and everything else. And thanks for watching, guys.